Welcome to Film Bluffs, a place for free-range, non-GMO, dog water opinions. So come on in, take a seat, and let's make fun of the kid with no internet. So the music's fading in like it does. Camera pushes in. We're in a smoky saloon. We're in the back table. It's a poker table. We got three boys all smoking cigars. Camera fades in on me.
Where's my
Hi,
cigar?
Jobe. How you doing? Before it whips over to that guy. Marshall, introduce yourself.
The camera pans over to my face. I am deeply sweating because one, it's hot in the wild, wild west, and two, I bet all my life savings on a pair of twos in my hand. But yeah, it's me, Marshall. I bet everything on two pair. Nothing's been flipped over yet. So from the dealer. So camera then, after it looks at me down to my cards, it pans up to Trace.
I am Trace, and I have a cigar. I don't know where I put it, though. I could use it as a prop one of these days, and I might if I find it. I played the card winning hand, so I could only be beat by a cheat card.
It's like those really, animated kids movies where they're like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I play Go Fish, or I'm playing charades or some shit like that. It's in over the head. You know what I'm talking about.
Sure. Well, we ended up watching
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
More like edging.
Hey,
tomorrow.
guys. I had a whole bit set up.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
what did we watch this week?
Well, if you couldn't tell by our rootin' tootin' intro, it was a sci-fi movie called Edge of Tomorrow. Now, Marshall, if you'd like to do your Edging of Tomorrow bit, I think now it would be an appropriate time.
Yeah, edging tomorrow.
Good.
Well, hold on. I got more.
Okay. There's more.
Semicolon.
Okay.
Live, nut, repeat.
Why I never.
How
Tangentially, there's a similar plot point of a movie that's, I think it's called Premature, where it's essentially Groundhog Day, but the kid has to bust for the day to reset, because it's one of those like teen really shitty movies where it's like, oh, he has to find true love. It's not just about
is this something you're now pitching, or is this something you actually found? Because it could go either way.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a
I don't think it is, but I do think it's funny, the idea of somebody being backed into a corner by a killer and he's just furiously jerking off going, I gotta restart.
Yeah, it's called Premature. It came out in 2014.
That sounds pretty good.
What?
I was browsing Tubi the other day, and I saw a movie from 2011 called Fart, the movie.
I think I saw that too.
What the fuck?
Hey, Jabronacrons, if you want us to watch Fart, the movie, leave a comment down below.
No, because I already had to sit
I
through
remember that.
2 hours and change of this movie.
I thought we watched Fart, the movie already this week.
Oh, wait.
It's only
say your
an
bit
hour.
again, and then I'll say my bit again. Where
Which part?
say, do you want us to watch Fart, the movie, and then I'll say this movie was a fart.
Yeah, okay. Leave a comment down below if you would like us to watch Fart, the movie.
What? I thought this was Fart, the movie, because it came out of someone's ass.
Marshall is the Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, call me Edgelord Cruz.
That is his first and last legal name. If you want to come talk about this movie, Mr. Thomas.
Anyways, Trace, what did you think of this movie? Because
I don't even know the premise of it yet.
A blood pact where he had to tell me if he liked this movie or not, so that way I could double down if he didn't like it because of the whole Power Rangers thing. You know.
Now, depending on if we did get that Power Rangers episode out,
it'll go up. We fixed
it. Okay, good.
Well,
yes,
Madison fixed it. Thanks, Madison.
Thanks, Madison.
Oh, Madison, that was good. That was a great joke. Oh, she's always such a jokester.
I feel like Madison's like in the other room. She heard her name being said, and then she's like, "Oh fuck, I got
Great. I gotta
do
talk to him
something
now.
Yeah.
Madison, do a
Yeah.
voiceover right here.
Whoa.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty heavy, but you really pulled out all the stops for us. Anyway, Trace, we give our general opinions, I feel like,
Oh.
before we get into the
Sorry,
meaty
I don't
nitty.
remember because I'm not the pro tag, so I don't relive this day every day like you guys might.
Reach through the screen and kill you.
Reach for the skies. See, the funny part is Marshall and I did in fact talk beforehand, and he wanted me to tell him if I hated it so he could double down. I really, if if I hadn't shit on Power Rangers so hard, I was really considering telling Marshall how much I hated the movie. That way he goes super hard into this, and I just jump in going, I don't really think it was that bad.
I was lobbying. Call me TurboTax the way I was in Trace fucking trying to get him up.
That's good.
Oh my god, Freya, please.
For those who don't know, Marshall is a damn financial wizard,
He
so
is.
he can make that observation.
Yeah. So general thoughts from Marshall. Love the premise.
General
Groundhog. Hey, what's up, bitches? Love the general premise. Groundhog Day kind of movies always work. We've seen it in such movies as Groundhog Day, Premature. There's that one Supernatural episode. You know, there's always like a random Disney Channel episode or Nickelodeon episode.
All movies we won't watch because
we're not doing the bit that Jobe suggested. Anyways, it always works well if it's done right, and they do it right for most of the movie. It's just they just kind of drop the ball at the end. That's my professional opinion from someone who's seen a movie or two in his life.
We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Yeah, we can't say that though. It's probably trademarked.
What?
Wink,
wink. I didn't trademark it.
Probably. But yeah, I don't know. It starts off strong, and then they do the thing where they just take away its powers, and it pisses me off.
Well, speaking of starting off strong, why don't I tell you a little bit of how it starts?
Go for it.
Okay. Fucking
Your way to be.
A fucking meteor falls to the earth, containing aliens of some sort. That we learned that they're called. We call them mimics, and they're fucking the earth up. But it's fine. All the nations have joined into one collective force. We have well, not power armor. I don't think mechs.
Exosuits.
I would say exosuit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we have exosuits. We're giving the soldiers just little frames to, I guess, allegedly increase their strength. Strength for sure. Agility, I think, takes a bit of a hit, especially for the new guys. Anyway, Tom Cruise is part of the PR division of the Army. Then he's told, fuck you, you're going to war, kid. And he says, the fuck I am. And he tries to run, but he gets caught very easily because he tried to run in the middle of an army base. And we wake up the next day, he's at base, and we're told, oh, you're going straight to the front lines. And it's like, what? Cut to the front lines. Everyone's dying. This battle sucks. Tom Cruise kills some alien, a big alien though, with blue, and he gets blue Powerade all up in his shit. And it melts his face, and then he wakes up. He's back at the base when he first woke up, and he's like, "Hey, wait a second! I think I'm reliving the same day. Hey guys, I think I'm reliving the same day." But he says it just as everyone dies again, and we repeat the cycle for a little while. But then, Tom Cruise, he saves Emily Blunt. And he's like, Emily Blunt, we have to keep moving. You'll die otherwise, as he no-scopes a fucking mimic behind him. And Emily Blunt is like, you're doing a Groundhog's Day. And he goes, what? But then they blow up. So he like catches up with her. And he's like, hey, what was that thing you're saying about Groundhog's Day? And she's like, oh, yeah, that was something that happened to me, too. But I lost the ability because I got a blood transfusion.
Wink, wink.
I mean, she never bothered to test it, obviously. But yeah, so they're like, all right, now you got to train. So we have a montage of day, but also training. And anytime he fucks up and gets injured, he gets shot in the face by Emily Blunt. Until eventually they're like, I have a vision of where the Omega is, which is like the hive mind controlling all the mimics. It's like, it's in German base. So they, another fucking montage of them trying to figure out how to get to German base. Eventually, Tom Bombadil Cruise gets to where the vision leads him to believe the Omega is, except Rutro, it's not there, and the Alpha is trying to make him bleed out so he can't restart the day no more. But he escapes and drowns himself and restarts the day, and he's like, ah shit, ah fuck. Then they're like, wait, we have a device that we can use to track. Actually, remind me to bring up this tracking device later.
Yeah.
But I have a device that I can plug into an Alpha to track where the Omega is. And he's like, oh, cool. Well, let's use it. He's like, well, it's back in this vault. It's in the safe with the general what sent you here. And Tom Cruise is like, I can restart the day infinitively. So he goes and gets it. And he's like, oh, it's under the Louvre. And then car accident, blood transfusion. Ah, shit. I've got one shot at this. He wrangles up the gang and they go blow up the Omega. But when he blows up the Omega, the day restarts and the day is saved. And he says to himself, wow, I could fuck Emily Blunt. Credits roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jobe, bring up the
Great job,
tracker.
Yeah, bring up the tracker.
So you remember there's a part where he's like, oh yeah, that little dam you sent me to, that was a trap. Just like it was a trap for you, right, Emily Blunt? And Emily Blunt's like, yeah, it was a trap, the visions. I know that for a fact. So why did they spend all this time pursuing the vision instead of just using the tracker they had the whole time and ended up using it anyway? Was it really?
I don't know.
That was just
I think they needed to build a rapport first. They're like, yeah, let's see if he's really got this thing going on.
Build a rapport. It's been the same fucking day for them.
Yeah, they need to build some more rapport.
One thing for me, what pissed me off is they spend all this time showing us on how like he's getting like his ass kicked, and out of nowhere he's just like good at fighting again. But in my mind, they should spend more time trying to get through the beach. Because they're like, oh no, we're gonna train, and then like they just like hang out like forever.
Yeah.
What do you mean they hang out? They're not like cracking open brewskis and playing pod.
It's fucking D-Day. They drop on Normandy. All the boats open up. They're just sipping little teas.
Oh, good heavens!
Hello. How are you?
I don't know. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you bring up a fair argument.
I think he really wants to hate it.
Like, no, like a lot of it's good. The first big like battle that you see is good. The mimic designs are great, and how like they I don't know, the little distortion that they do sometimes around them when they like scream, you know what I'm talking about? Where like the screen kind of pulses.
Yeah.
Their design's great.
Like, it feels like Control if you've played that game.
Well,
I know what you're talking about.
I just liked it because it's not just like, oh, it's a humanoid or just like a fucking blob kind of deal. It's like it's a it's a 4-legged creature, but it goes fucking buck wild and can contort its shape and hide, and it's kind of fun for me, and the design I think is good. But I think one of the things that this movie falls into is they realize that like having the character know everything in advance makes them too broken. And that's the reason that everyone came to watch the movie, because they wanted to see the time reverse shenanigans. Yeah. But then they're like, oh, what should we do? Like, hey, you know that one thing that he was doing the whole movie? Take it away. And then they're in love with each other at the very end. Smooch, 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 smooch. She's only known him for one fucking day.
Yeah, but he knows everything about her.
Well, see, that I can almost give a pass because Emil Blunsky, she's been through that. So like,
yeah,
I feel like she kind of understands. Like, okay, I'm gonna assume the vibes
Oh,
are
I'm
correct.
supposed to fall in love with him.
Something like that, maybe.
Um,
I mean, I think once he reveals when he reveals like, oh, I know your middle name is Rose. She's like, okay,
oh
I wouldn't
fuck,
have
I
said that
trusted
unless
him.
this guy was about it.
I wouldn't have
Well,
told this
no,
guy unless I
she
had
tells him
already
his
seen
middle
his
name
dick.
is she tells him Peyton.
She tells him.
Well,
She
yeah.
tells him all sorts of things.
Well, yeah, she lies to him a lot for some reason. I'm not really sure what that's about, other than
Also,
like,
there's that whole thing where he's like, "Hey, if you get in the helicopter, you're gonna die. So we gotta do something else." And she's like, "No, watch me get in the helicopter and die." Actually,
I'm gonna prove you wrong. We have agreed that I've seen the future. Whatever.
like
Well, I
the first.
mean,
I think, yeah. The first time I watched this
Therefore,
movie,
it
I thought
is.
they were gonna do like a sick thing where he like becomes like the unsung hero, right? Where he's like, "Oh,
No.
I can probably just do this without Emily Blunt, and I'll just do the whole thing the whole way because I already got everything I need from her. Why am I bringing in her into this and endangering her?" And then he does one attempt at that, shits the bed immediately, and says,
Just
"Wait, mommy, Emily Blunt, I need your help again." Like,
that
come on,
girl
man.
grabbing her boob.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, that part was like
But wait, he makes it
trying
to the
to.
date the first time by himself without shitting said bed.
Yeah, and then he dies, and then he goes, "Hey, Emily Blunt, I need to find the fucking Omega again."
Well, because he tried it on his own, and
The
that part
Kenyan
didn't work.
Omega.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I can't remember all of a sudden when she takes his battery pack out. Is that before or after?
That's before she knows.
Okay, so she was just being an asshole on the battlefield.
Well, he
Yeah.
was dead.
He
Well,
was dying. He had a hole in him.
He
That's
had a
fair.
hole in his chest.
I think she knew, and she's like,
The
"I
other
want
thing
this
for
battery."
me is I feel like at some
She's-
point you just got to become desensitized to dying as
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. And so in my mind, you get the MacGuffin here. You find out where the Omega is, and then you immediately just kill Tom Cruise so you can get a reset on the
Yeah.
timer here. Because they're like, oh, we have to do something with this information now because time's running out. No, he's practically immortal. Just redo it, dog.
Yeah, there was a couple of moments in there where I was like, why are you wasting the day here? Just go back and do it again.
Because they said that, like, once they found him, which at this point they have, they're kind of locked in. I think they'll kind of know what it is that he's planning, or at least once they restart, they'll know that, oh, he knows where we are, so we should probably get ready for that.
Because the first time when they go and grab it, they get the thing, they go outside of the place, and then she shoots him in the head, and then they're in the car because it's their second time doing it. My whole point is
it wasn't the second time that he shot himself up with the go-go juice.
Oh, why didn't he just shoot himself with a go-go juice and then fucking?
He was being a baby about it. I don't know.
Yeah,
and then they just blop him in the head. You know,
I do kind of agree with Marshall that once he stabs himself in the leg with the go-go juice, I do think they should have killed him immediately and then just start the day over and go from there.
But I fucking just said why they couldn't do that.
Why?
Because then the Omega will know that they know.
They already knew. The Omega already knew they were coming because they obviously killed a
Yeah,
alpha.
but the Omega didn't know that they knew its exact location until after that.
Maybe.
But still, like at that point, right? It's whatever. The
that
Omega knows where it is. The Omega knows that you know where it is. It's not gonna move.
It might. You don't know what it's capable of.
I mean, I guess.
Then you start shooting up with go-go juice all the time, every day.
Go. I don't know. I feel like I might be coming on a little hard on the hate train. I do want to say this movie is quite fun for most of it. It is a fun time, especially when it's just like Tom Cruise getting the shit kicked out of him and Emily Blunt saying, "Hey, bye, hey, bye."
I did like some of the little. Like the little things that can be lost if you're not looking too carefully. Like when he first meets the doctor and he's like, "How many fingers am I holding up?" And he's like, "I don't fucking know. We haven't done this yet." And he holds up 2 fingers to let him know for next time. Hey, I'm holding up 2 fingers. But it's one of those like Emily Blunt's already moved into a whole new conversation, so the focus kind of shifts to there. So it's something you can kind of miss. But if you're looking at it, it's just like a little thing later, so he can do it. But I do like those little points of the time travel aspect where they're like, okay, fuck, give him the information now and kill him because we're gonna need that later and earlier. But also, yeah, like I do think he should be desensitized. I agree with Marshall because like there's so many training points where like he breaks his back or he breaks his leg.
He's like, no, I'm fine. I
Yeah,
can still
like
feel my toes.
he's probably died 3 dozen times by now. Why is he trying to fight it again? Why not just go no, fucking go for it.
I think therefore I is.
All right.
Oh no, wait, that's valid. That's valid.
I feel like you guys are casting a lot of assumptions that like you assume that if you were in that position you would get desensitized to dying. Listen, I'll fall on this sword. I'm a big baby. I would die 30 times and then be like, this isn't pleasant, and I'd rather not.
Well, I can't speak to this or I'm gonna get yelled at.
Yeah.
So I guess we move on.
I guess so.
This fucking sucks. I'm quitting the podcast.
Fine, Trace. Do you want to explain to the audience why this is a moot point for you?
No, it was just gonna be kind of a thing of I'd go, I wouldn't give a shit, and then you and Marshall would go, oh yeah, I bet you would. The movie would be fixed if Trace were there. And then I'd go.
Trace would immediately get his safety off in his gun, solo the entire mimic army, somehow.
I wouldn't do that part. No,
he would bathe in the blood of the Alpha to become the new Trace.
If Trace could restart the day, he would play a funny prank where he'd gather us together and be like, "Hey, Marshall, check this out," and he would like shoot me in the wait. Does Matt's gonna get mad at me if I say all this?
Maybe, but
I feel we're in too deep now.
It's the premise of the movie. I feel like
Trace would gather us, be like, guys, this is super important, and then be like, Marshall, check this out. Shoot me in the face, and then Marshall
would be like,
I'd be like, no.
You just get bored from saving the world and be like, hey guys, I planted a bomb at one of y'all's houses. You have to first run to New Delhi and back. First one to do it gets to live.
I kill Joe. Marshall starts freaking out. And I go, no, watch, and then I reset the day.
You're not gonna get this, but your kids will love
this. Is gonna be fun. All right, so Joe kind of answered, but Marshall, if you were in this position and you've been going through this for like, what I can only assume with the time skipping we get is probably a month Tom Cruise time or something to that degree. When do you think you would stop having quarrels about resetting yourself?
I want to say 7, like a week.
Yeah,
at that point, I'm just bored.
Because like, I do feel like if you have the 100% assurance that you will wake up again at the start of your day, I feel like after like a few days, it's just kind of like, meh.
Wait, okay, so someone needs to fucking help me out here. So the very end of the movie, Tom Cruise drinks the blood of his enemies, as in the Omega, the Tengen Omega, and the day resets, but the Omega is also gone. That's correct, right? It's the previous day, but the Omega is gone because it's in Tom Cruise.
It doesn't make sense because the Omega didn't get a transfusion.
But he gave it to Tom Cruise. Right?
I think this is something that would have been explored in the sequel, but my understanding is that like the implication is that the Omega has been restarting this day for a while, right? Because that's how it knows how to prepare and everything, is because it's been restarting the day since assumably well before Tom Cruise started. Yes, Trace.
No, you can keep going. I want to make sure I remember my point because it'll be better.
Okay.
Trace is gonna forget.
Yeah, basically once
right here,
Tom Cruise killed the Omega, it restarted the day from before the very first time the Omega restarted, which is why I feel like the scenario is slightly different.
Yeah.
Because, like it's assumed the Omega and the Mimics have been shenaniganizing for a while. And that's my point. Yes, Trace.
That's a really, really good point, Joe, but I think that's a really great possibility. I think the real answer is, though, that the Omega gave the start of the day back to Tom Cruise as a reward for being an honorable warrior and defeating him in one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat.
Nah.
A, it's one-on-one. B, no hands.
There was a grenade.
Hand to tentacle to grenade. 2v1 because that other guy comes in and tries to attack Tom Cruise.
Doesn't try. Fucking.
Fucking stabs his ass.
Also,
Honorable
can
warrior.
I just real quick? I love all of Tom Cruise's little yelps and screams. It just has a lot.
Yeah.
I would also
Side
do it.
characters. Mad-Eye Moody as the general.
That's
He
pretty
is
good.
fucking stone cold the whole time. He gives
Steve
you one of them.
Austin.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just
Wait, who are we talking about?
the general,
the one from the beginning that goes, hey, you're
Irish
doing
one.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been begging for footy of Emily Blunt on the battlefield for ages.
I just love it's like, are you blackmailing me? And Tom Cruise is like, maybe, and he's like, nah, that's okay. Yeah, blackmail me, and then immediately, nah, get his ass.
Yeah, there
Additionally,
was the hey, he's a deserter. Everybody's like, get him.
Bill Paxton, Sergeant was great. Love him.
Yeah.
I liked how like he would just like start questioning like what the fuck hell's Tom Cruise on? Fuck it, I don't know. I'm gonna go into my line anyway because I've been workshopping it. Let me try it out and go.
And then he makes them eat cards, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. All the J Squad is quite fun. I feel like instead of having the super long training montage, we could have had some training montage and some of Tom Cruise like talking to J Squad in different scenarios. Because a lot of the times in the movie, it ends up like it's implied that he's done, like Tom Cruise has done this before at a certain point, and you're like, yeah, I get it. But it would have been kind of fun to see him actually interact with J Squad. Besides the first couple times that he went through the loop, and then the very last Howdy Doody run. You know what I'm saying? Thoughts from my fellow committee members.
You know what, Marshall? That is a valid point. I agree. You could pick a sticker from the roll. Yeah, I will say this movie doesn't do characters super well. Like there's some songs with Tom Cruise and like Sarge. They're fun.
Yeah.
Mostly just Tom Cruise in the beginning being in way over his head, not knowing what the fuck to do. He gets a little more boring by the end once he
does.
I feel like he reverts back to his normal Tom Cruise self, whereas the beginning is him actually acting.
And then I feel like the only thing is like they made Emily Blunt like too badass, so she doesn't like do any like characterization besides I'm Emily Blunt and I'm a badass.
I'm Emily Blunt and I'm going to war.
But then I'm gonna slightly open up to you, but then immediately decide to die because I don't know how to handle my feelings, I guess.
I mean, the character development is hard to do in a movie like this because we can't really, because since it's the same day, we don't really have a whole lot to go off of other than Tom Cruise jumping in and going, your son's name is Jonathan, and just like, oh, hey, we know that now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we needed to see him interact more, just so we can get more characteristics. Besides them at the end going, by the way, Tom Cruise knows everything about us.
He knows your name's not Ford.
We're not gonna say everything that he knows. We're just gonna drop a few things, so the audience knows that he knows that we know everything about him.
It's kind of similar to how Bill Murray do in Groundhog's Day, but I'll say the difference with that is
Bill Murray's funny.
Well, I feel like with Bill Murray, they really explored every aspect of his character.
Yeah. I've never seen Groundhog Day. I'm gonna be real with you.
Oh,
it's a classic.
Tell you what.
Have you ever even seen
an episode on it? You just listen to our recap of it, and then you'll basically know what's up.
Okay.
Joe and I do our own podcast, and it's just Groundhog Day every time.
Yeah, I mean, the premise of these movies is always like it's not a super complicated. Like this whole plot of the time loop, it's not super complicated. It's more of like in that day that they have, how many different possibilities can they show the audience that are fun and interesting. And every now and then in this movie, I feel like it hits a couple. But then it just starts saying, yeah, it's implied that he's done this before, but it's going to look cool. And everyone likes a good movie where people are like competent. That's why I think heist movies, especially people that are competent heist movies, work so well. It's because people like seeing people do things good, competently, right? Do things good. But You know, like the first time that we see Tom Cruise, I try to roll under the car and he gets squished.
Yeah.
And the Major Sergeant's
What
just
the
like,
fuck you doing?
Side tangent. I do like how every now and then that like after Tom Cruise dies, they'll give like the surrounding characters like
Oh,
a
yeah.
1 second like line, a beat, just to be like SMH or something like that.
Well,
you
it's
know?
got to
That
get back to the
truck scene,
Omega so you
though.
can hit the reset button.
When he fucking you just hear the oh!
But I mean, that's not like a super. I feel like that's not a super easy thing to do. How many times did the character that Tom Cruise plays have to go back and get run over by that truck?
I
I feel like
definitely
you do it once and you just lock in, dog.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel
look,
I-
I know I talk a big game and say the movie would be over if I were in it. I would not be able to lock in after one.
what if you had that sweet fucking sword that Emily Blunt uses?
Okay, is it
Probably
just me,
then.
or is it just like it's not really a sword? It's just like a length of metal that's too heavy to be called a sword.
A
Yeah,
sword
it's
is
like
just the length of
helicopter
metal.
blade that they sharpened. Trace, what type of sword would it be if you had to prescribe it one?
Dragon Slayer from Berserk.
Let's
I'm
go.
naming it.
No. Don't listen to Marshall. You're just telling us what type of sword it most resembles.
I need that. Well, give me a second.
It's definitely
Alright.
she's two-handing a great sword from Dark Souls, from Soft Games. That's the moveset.
Hey, FromSoft, if you want to sponsor us, Marshall here is a big fan, and I like Bloodborne.
Yeah, I bet you do, big dog. What else? There has
It's
to be
kind of
something.
resembling a bit of a like a little bit wider Spartan sword almost. There's probably a more accurate Chinese or Japanese sword equivalent though.
Anyways, who else was a little depressed that
it's a Tadachi.
The Omega wasn't purple? I feel like that's the next step up, right? Like the mimics were orange, the alphas were blue, and then the Omega was just also blue, which was kind of lame.
For me,
Odachi.
common is
It's
blue.
yeah,
Or no,
yeah.
common is green, then
Common's
blue,
green. It's
then
green,
it goes
blue.
purple, and then orange is legendary.
Yeah, but I think they
Yeah.
wanted orange as common just because it's a little more of like a basic color and blue stands out more. And that's why I'm thinking purple is definitely above blue. So regardless, I think it should have been purple for the Omega.
I think they just didn't want that scene to happen, then everyone going like just calling it lean.
that would have been so much better.
Yo, Tom Cruise swimming in the lean.
Someone puts fucking photoshops in some gummy bears and
Fucking styrofoam cups everywhere.
What's the Jolly Ranchers?
Yeah.
Anyways, like I said, the fight scenes that we do see are fun. There's obviously a huge difference in the earlier ones where Tom Cruise is just fucking floundering around for like the entirety of it because he has no idea how to like operate anything, and it's quite fun to see him be like just this piece of shit character that we're introduced to just get his ass handed to him and somehow survive. But later on, it's like, okay, he's competent. It's kind of cool. He's doing the running around the little fucking hole and shooting the mimics where they are. He's like, pew, pew. But I'm still halfway confused of why he has to be so good at fighting if he's just like, Emily Blunt keeps telling him to like just memorize everything in the fight so you don't have time to think. And I'm like, I feel like you don't have to be good at fighting. You just, know where it's going to be, pew, 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 and then trash.
There is some...
I don't feel like there's not enough time. You don't need to like train. You just do it, and in the aspect of memorizing, you'll be. I
do agree that he doesn't need to be like a master martial fighter or anything like that. But
like
Jobe. But there is some memorization to fighting though. So like he would get better at fighting just because of because he's memorizing these things and he's getting a faster reaction time because of it. So, like, he's able to pick up on things a little quicker. He's able to see more telltale signs of something coming at him. So
they're not even, like, completely the same. Like, you can't tell me those training robots are, like, actually mimicking a mimic. I wink at the audience as the camera positions on my eyes really quick.
No, it's that wink worthy.
It's not necessarily that he's memorizing the bot so that he knows what the mimic's gonna do. It's just that like he's getting more of a spatial awareness around him, so he
But then why
is
doesn't
getting
he
a
just
better idea of things.
Just go to the battlefield and do this?
That part, I agree with. I do think it would be better to get the experience there.
I would argue that in this training room, if he gets injured, Emily Blunt's right there to shoot him in the fucking face. Whereas out in the battlefield, shenanigans could happen, and he could accidentally get a blood transfusion. I think is what they're.
Yeah, because Ford walks up with the whole kit and just trips on him, stabs him with 2 syringes and a blood bag that just kind of goes into it, and then out one side. And he's like, "Oh fuck, I got no time travel part. There's no more."
I don't know. That's a good point, Joe, but I don't think it's that good to refute my point. I'm just putting that out there. You get half a refute. How's that sound?
I think that I think where Marshall is getting at is that on the battlefield, it's almost assured that he's going to die because there's so much shit going on there. There's like a 99% chance that he dies.
But I'm just saying, like, the reason they have the training room is so that they can have the recruits practice against mimic-like enemies in a controlled environment, because they don't want them to go fight a mimic and that be the first thing that they fight that resembles a mimic. Because if they die, then it's like, that's bad training. But Tom Cruise can go fight a mimic, and if he dies, he can just do it again. I think the main thing is, if all time travel movies have this thing where it's like there's so many different ways to approach the problem, that like there's no one person, there's no like, it's this, the writers have to pick something and just kind of go with it, you know. I think Jobe is getting antsy.
I just want to ask a question too, Jobe, before we jump into our break. Jobe, are you proposing that him training in a controlled environment to know that a certain outcome is going to be had would be better than him jumping onto the battlefield where it may be more sporadic and dangerous for the mission?
Well, I would say that it makes sense because we're working out Tom Cruise and he's not screaming at a fucking ant.
There we go. That's thanks, Joe.
I win. I finally win.
Okay, fine. Speaking of winning, real winners drink Capri Sun.
Yeah,
I'll give you that one for free, you sons of bitches. Now respond to my emails.
Yeah, here's the thing, guys. I don't think we'll ever get a Capri Sun sponsorship because we're doing it for free.
That's true. They're like,
well,
hey.
Sometimes I drink a Kool-Aid. Jabronocrons, we're back from our Capri Sun break. Hope you had a wonderful time. Hope you got refreshed.
Today we watched Edge of Tomorrow. Joe,
yeah,
why don't you tell us?
This movie starts with Tom Robinson.
Tom Riddle.
You should leave.
Tim Robinson.
Anyway, nice. We're not doing this bit. We're not doing a time loop.
It was very funny. I'm glad we all liked it.
Remember when Jobe suggested a time loop bit before we turned on?
It would have been funnier than
bit.
Anyways,
a better.
Jobe, you were saying something about how you can't find a single flaw in this and how it's perfect or something.
Yeah.
You know that song,
Mind's Eye or whatever.
You know that song that goes, everything about you. Yeah. I feel that way, but the opposite about
this movie. The Phantom Menace.
What?
Sorry, I'm looking at something completely unrelated.
Trace, focus up.
I'm locked in.
Of Magic the Gathering.
No, it was of Dominic West.
Of course. Anyway, like I said earlier, I don't want to come across to you, the audience, as a hater, and I'm doing this for revenge, or I'm like just an evil person who has no respect for cinema or storytelling.
Not like some people we know.
Yeah. Like I feel like it could come across that way, you know. I just want the audience to know, aside from my council members here, so I'm leaning off to the side here. Hey, this movie's entertaining, right? If you want, 4 hours of your life just to have some entertainment, and you like thinking, hey, what should we watch? Hey, I've never seen that Tom Cruise flick, Edge of Tomorrow. It's an entertaining movie. I want to put it out there. that despite what I'm saying, it's got a little iffies in there. It's still pretty entertaining. You won't feel bad about yourself for watching this movie. I cut back to everyone else, so I just told them the movie.
Hey,
fucking
what's up,
sucks.
Marshall? How's it going, man? We missed
You
you
were over
for
there whispering to yourself for a long
Yeah,
time.
we
Is
lost you
everything
for a
okay?
second. Are you good?
Yeah, I told the audience to watch Power Rangers because you guys
Oh,
recommended it.
cool. That makes sense.
That is your favorite fucking movie.
For some
apparently.
reason.
More so, it was the betrayal.
I keep
The
referring to
lying.
I
this.
don't remember any betrayal in the Power Rangers movie.
Well,
I guess the green. It was the original Green Ranger. You're right.
No. The betrayal in Power Rangers was when they learned that Zoltar was going to have them open the Rangers Gate exclusively.
No,
for
I'm
him
talking
to
about
die.
you.
It was Rita.
Or Zordon.
One of
Zoltar's
you two.
the fortune teller from Big.
That's
Whichever
true.
one wants to take the
What's up,
blame
Marshall?
for the betrayal,
What's
the
that?
Judas-like
On House Hill?
actions.
Oh, that's for sure, Jobe.
Right, Job kissed my.
I
ear
never
and said,
claimed I was
"This
going to
guy."
absolutely love that movie and then
I don't
take you back behind the
recall
alley
claiming
and beat the
that
shit out of you.
either.
No,
I can't
think
believe I hated on Power Rangers just from 3 pieces of silver
I'm
I
really-
got from some Italian bastards.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we're talking about it again, though.
Yeah, I just want the audience to know that I'm not a hateful bastard. I just want you to know, all right, dear listener.
He is Jesus-like in his love of
All right,
everyone.
you know
I've
what?
walked
I'm
on
gonna bring the audience
I've
over
ate
here
a
for like
fish.
a quick second. I just need to
Okay,
like.
cool. I'll be over here.
I'm gonna
Hey
do
guys,
some
this is actually
crosswords.
really just an excuse to talk to Madison because like I feel like we had a whole conversation about no one bringing up Power Rangers anymore. And then Marshall's just kind of bringing it up again, and it's making me feel really bad, even though I shouldn't because I didn't fucking do shit. So like I'm on the verge of crying, and this isn't even my movie pick. So like I don't know what to do here, Madison. So we can do just like a small voiceover and let me know what you think. That is such a good idea. All right, sounds good.
Hey, Chase, you were
Hey,
over
what's
there
up?
by yourself for a while.
Yeah, hey, I think everybody's point is valid, you know?
Yes, Marshall.
Trey stole my bit. I pulled the audience aside first, and then he's just gonna go and do it right afterwards.
But better.
No,
All right. You guys are arguing too much. I think you're scaring the audience. So I'm going to bring him off to the side here for a second. Just a quick minute. Hey, guys. I hope you all know that when we argue, it's in jest. I think Marshall might genuinely be upset about the Power Rangers thing. So, like, if you could not bring it up, that'd be great. But thank you. Love you. Like and subscribe. Show your friends.
Hey, welcome back, Joe.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Trace
How's it
and
going?
I
Hey, guys.
were telecommunicating
Yeah,
about
I thought
Edge of Tomorrow. Live
somebody I think
Therapy.
said think, therefore they is at one point, but it was just like in my mind's eye or whatever.
What did you guys think about the little bit where Tom Cruise just like goes and gets a brewski by himself in a bar?
I feel like it's valid. That
I feel
is
like
the
it
thing where
needs to
like
happen.
I know we talked about the whole desensitizing towards death thing, but I do feel like even if you're just like whatever death, I'll come back tomorrow. It does take a mental toll for sure.
I feel like
It reminded me of that scene from like Captain America where he's like drinking a beer and he's like, I can't get drunk kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you remember what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you.
Whatever. But it was just like, I don't know, it was a good change of pace to try to see like Tom Cruise not like, obviously it's kind of fun to see him get his ass kicked and then shot in the head. But it was also just a refresher to see him just like out of that, doing something new, you know. Even though he knows that the war is happening, he could be, you know, training for it. He knows he can just kill himself and redo it.
Do you think he gets like a phantom pain kind of thing? Because like he obviously remembers shit hurting.
Yeah, I think he'll like feel it, but then like it's only for like a half a millisecond, so it's a very short frame for when it actually kills him. Side tangent. Do you think they reused a lot of shots of Emily Blunt shooting him in the head? Because it was a lot of the same.
Yeah.
Well, also
then-
the same of her doing like her hot yoga poses.
Yeah, because it was the
There's
same
no
one.
need for her to do that.
Well, I mean, I get it because it's like it's repeating it. You know, it's the actual same day and it's the same
Yeah.
timeline, but I mean, it could give us not like saying I need a different angle, but like if Tom Cruise approaches her from a different angle, we could see her giving a different reaction. Like, oh, Tom Cruise is coming in, but he looks questioning versus Tom Cruise is coming in and he knows what he's about.
what?
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna say it.
Oh,
Y'all made some salient points earlier.
Salient? I don't think is a word.
It is.
that is hard.
Okay.
I'm with him on that one.
Wait, who?
Jobe, salient is a word.
Oh, you know what? Hey, my bad. Shout out to
my
everyone
bad.
out there. Job, you were saying we made some smart points or salient. Fuck you, salient.
Marshall learned a new word today.
Yeah, I take it back. Y'all made no.
What do you mean,
points.
y'all? I've done nothing. I was backing you.
Well, unfortunately, I now have to lump you in with Marshall. because-
Great.
No, I was saying y'all made a point earlier. Just a
salient.
point, a regular point,
A
no
salient
adjectives to describe it.
Smart salient.
Just because thinking back on it, it's like, yeah, we have that montage of him getting his ass kicked in like the training room. And then I think there's a brief scene where they're like, all right, it's go time. And then it's just followed up by another montage of them on the battlefield. And it's basically just two long montages back to back that eats up a good portion of the second act. Yeah, either it could have been cut or replaced with more character stuff, especially considering that like the training room montage gets old pretty fast because it's largely just Tom Cruise getting hit in the chest and going, "Wah!"
Yeah, what do you think would be like a good early 2000s song to montage?
Whichever one was
though?
from that one Bionicles commercial. You know the
God,
one.
I don't remember.
I don't.
It's been so fucking long.
But I think to Job's point, the intent of the first montage is to show us that like Tom Cruise sucks as a soldier, but we already saw the first like 40 minutes of the movie where he sucks as a soldier.
Well, we've seen the first like 5 minutes where he's like, "I suck at as a soldier."
Right? Like I don't think we needed the training montage to show us like, oh, just in case you forgot, he sucks. And then
he sucks as
the second one I always thought was a little more interesting, where it's
he
them
is
like
no proud boy.
it's them planning how to get like through the beach, you know? Like that one's like pretty interesting because it's like, okay, we tried this way, we had to do it this way. You had to take 10 steps, you know, look left, turn right, or whatever, right? And how like the memorization and communication works. I thought that was a lot more interesting than seeing Tom Cruise get oof.
Well, I do think it plays more to his strengths.
Even with that, I think the choreography of that was honestly better when they were trying to get into that one general, when they were trying to get back to the general's office for a great low rate.
Shaq.
Go to Tom Cruise.
Like I said, people like watching competent people do something. Like it's a satisfying thing, and watching Tom Cruise sit there, he's counting off the steps and the movements. Some of them were a little, I want to say, flashy for effect, because there was one where he walks down the hallway and then takes like 5 steps backwards into a room. And I'm like, why couldn't you just like go into the room and then wait for the person to pass you by?
Because that's not what he did the time before that.
Like he took
it's all he
7
knows.
steps, got to the hallway and said, wait, we have to go back and then go forward.
It's because they wanted to just like pass by someone real quick, and then once they were out of their
maybe
vision,
I don't remember too much. My mind's eye or whatever.
Jesus Christ, can we come up with a new catchphrase?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. I think we should.
No!
Therefore,
we do.
is. There's actually a small deleted scene there where he does pull her into that room after taking 13 steps ahead. And she's like, "Why did we do that? Why didn't we just do it in here?" He's like, "Well, I don't know. It's just kind of what I've always been doing. And I just didn't want to make any room for errors."
And he has a throbbing.
Nope.
I was gonna say that she kissed him, but now I don't want to.
Steps into a room, does a quick crossword puzzle, and then continues on.
Tom, we have time.
What's 10 across?
The crossword puzzle is key to their disguise.
I just want to see how fast I can do it after I've relived this day so many times. Satchel?
every single time he's only been doing one word, but he's been memorizing the rest of the words that he's put down. So he's like, I know this is satchel, but I need like 14 across.
And I don't
And
know
he's
what
only
that
writing in one word. Yeah.
translucent.
Indestructible.
What?
Wait, Trace, remind me, if he wrote indestructible, did that do anything, or
In the
does he have
book
to
or
say
in,
it out
in
loud?
this?
In the book.
In the book, he can write it if he has the power, because he writes it on the girl's arm right before she gets
talking about?
right before
That's
she gets
never
fucking
known.
destroyed
I've
by a
never
truck.
known what this bit is from. You guys
We
bring it up
got
all
we
the
all
fucking
right.
time.
We're gonna do book talk. We're gonna do a little book segment where we
What
read.
book is this?
It's called 13 Days to Midnight, and it's the
Stupid.
best, stupidest fucking book I've ever read,
If
and
you're
it's my
looking for
favorite.
trashy YA,
It's so
That's the
cringy
guy.
and edgy, but it's such a funny fucking book. And because of that, it's unironically my favorite book ever.
so
You don't know how to
overall,
read.
I don't. That's why I listen to audiobooks. Go listen to Audible today. Sponsor us.
No, you can't say the name of the company and then
Go
tell us
listen to Edge of Tomorrow.
You can't tell them to do it and then be like, sponsor us, by the way, because they're just gonna.
There's a lot of smut on there.
If you want to listen to audiobooks, get yourself a library card and download the app Libby, where you can download
Libby.
audiobook for free.
I
Anyway,
need to come up with a score that's not too demeaning yet playful.
Overall, I don't think this movie does. It's a concept that they just kind of execute on. They don't like. I wouldn't say they get the full potential out of it. But also they don't squander it. It's a very fine movie that's a pretty fun watch without being particularly outstanding in any field. So for those reasons and potentially more, hey, if you want a part 2 to this episode, comment down below.
Why would we want a part 2 to this one?
I don't know, but if that's what the people want.
Why not like Power Rangers or a good movie?
Ooh, maybe next.
Hey, if you want us to revisit a movie, just fucking let us know.
Maybe next time in part 2 we'll have Taylor Kitsch with us, and he can tell us all about John Carter of Mars. Jobe, hey Taylor, come on the show.
Score.
It's a 7.
That's fair.
Okay, that's a lot. Marshall turn.
Okay, I'm curious as to what Marshall's gonna give it.
Yeah, no, I've been really stressing over this. This last 2 times before the time I watched it today, I only watched like half of the movie and had a really good time. But then I watched like the whole thing today, and I was like, this is not as good as watching just like half the movie. So
what half?
The first half.
Okay. I don't know what you're doing over there in Colorado.
Yeah, so if you watch like half the movie, it's probably a little better because you're not bored, but I'm gonna give it, I know this sounds terrible. Oh man.
This is gonna be
6.11.
Okay, that's fine.
101.
Just one repeating infinitely.
Except for that 0-1 there that breaks the code.
I think that's pretty good of a number.
Code.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. That's a good number. Trace, give us a score.
Oh man, give us a score.
What
the fuck was that?
I feel like Airbud between the little boy and the clown right now.
What? He pulls out the paper and he's like,
yeah.
"I'm here, bud."
Yeah.
What?
Marshall knows what I'm talking about.
Bud.
What the fuck?
What kind of little
all right,
sad life
6.
you live?
What the fuck? I just talked my way out of a perfect score.
Perfect score. You gave it a 7.
I would have given
Seven's all around, baby.
Hey, 777. That's a lucky number. 6
wow.
was my actual answer, though. It was okay. I just don't need to really watch it again.
What a great time, everybody! Wow, audience, thanks for being here. Next week, the trio, the triumvirate, the 3 Mouseketeers will be watching Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Did you have to read that to remember?
No, I've been looking straight at the camera.
Yeah, right.
We're not watching the Disney version of the 3 Musketeers with Mouse, Mickey Mouse. Goofy.
I'm
and
so
Donald
confused
Duck.
as to what you're on about right now. Oh, we should do
You
the Three
remember
Musketeers.
that iconic character?
No, we should watch it. We should watch the Three
Mouse.
Musketeers though. The one with Percy Jackson in it.
No,
should
that was
watch-
Yes.
so boring.
No, I like that
No.
one. He's fun. He's a
Shut
good
up.
character.
Everything, everywhere, all at once, because Marshall needs to get some points back. Damn
Oh
it.
my god.
He's
He's
In
so-
case you haven't noticed, dear audience, the points is a very prickly point of contention.
Somebody's
amongst
really
some of us.
yeah. It's a huge. We've been fist fighting about this the last 33 weeks.
We meet at the pub every other day, and it's just an
We
immediate
just
brawl. It's
and
on
we
site.
just go at
Oh.
it.
the pub because we're British. We've been doing American accents this whole time.
And
Drop
we're
them,
doing
boys.
the Three Musketeers.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
I don't want to lose
You
our
can
British
catch
viewers.
us everywhere.
Alright.
Our account is Film Bluffs Pod. Title
Hello,
Film Bluffs.
Ari,
Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. Tell your
Marshall, where can they find us
Aw.
next?
I was really hoping Marshall would get through it and then just like.
No,
transition to
you almost had me. You almost
you
distracted
sly
me.
dog. You got me monologuing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Tell your dog. Tell your neighbors. Tell the crotchety old man who lives in a monster house. Tell a
Like
cat.
Steve Buscemi.
Tell
Yeah.
a plant. But we'll catch you next week on the flip side, Jabronicrons.
Marshall, keep on
Um,
listing off people that
yeah.
they should tell as we fade out.
I think
Steve
Banana's probably
Buscemi.
listening by now.
Denzel Washington. A janitor.
Oh, you should tell a
Bus
janitor.
driver. a
Janitors don't
Culver's
really
guy.
have a lot to do.
Trace, stop fucking interrupting him. You're ruining the fade out.
I was just I was agreeing with him.
The Schwann's guy. Firefighter. Subway worker. The toll man. The grumpy old troll who lives under the bridge. Arthur Spiderwick from the Spiderwick Chronicles. Anxiety from Inside Out 2. The main character from the movie Epic, who goes through the stages of grief. The bugs from Bug's Life. I got some other ones here. The Good Doctor, because he is a doctor. Archeon, the Ever Chosen from Warhammer. My cat, you can tell my cat. Sid the Sloth. Fucking Goldar. Atlantis, the city, and Atlantis, the movie. Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon. Cedric Diggory from Harry Potter, and I think Smeagol. Smeagol will be the last guy you should tell. Have a nice one.